What's happening, YouTube? It's your homie S. Dot with DefTF coming back to you with another video. And right out the gate, we see Rob popping off with a Lionizer. Looks like he's most likely going into the blaster. But to introduce these players real quick, to the left, of course, we have the runner-up of the entire tournament, Mr. Nick, playing the blaster deck. And then to the right, looks like he started off the game with tapping Top Shot to use its effect to discard an orange action, or excuse me, an orange card to draw 2 cards and stack a card on top of his deck. And then he used Lionizer to go into the blaster. Now, Nick, for his turn, is going to draw and flip blaster to deploy the ram horn and flip a free press the advantage off the top of the deck. Most likely going to use fire drive 99.9% of the time. The blaster player always starts out with fire drive, and also to draw that card to have a strong 6 cards in your starting or in your hand going on their next turn to be able to play an action and upgrade. So he's able to play an action or upgrade this turn, and he decides to play Static Laser of Ironhide, and he's going in for a kill. Looks like not a great flip, but he is going to still KO the Top Shot anyway. Top Shot's pretty fragile at 5 health and 1 defense. This is also, by the way, the top 8 of the Pro Play Tour here in Columbus. The match started so fast, I kind of skipped around and said all my intros a little, off the wall here, but yeah. So Rob Clark, again, top 8 here. Congratulations to him, and congratulations to Rob as well for making it this far. So we got a 1-shot stand, 1-shot fall on Lionizer. Don't care about putting the damage on Lionizer because him being a battle master, of course, you kind of want it to be KO'd at one point so it can turn into the weapon and also equip to, a character as a weapon with Bold 4 and Plan 1. So he's going to play Power Punch on Wheeljack in alt mode, which is going to trigger Wheeljack's effect that when you put a upgrade on a car, that you draw a card and scrap a card. It is mandatory, so if you forget and your opponent reminds you, you'll still have to do it. It's not a you may effect. But he's going to set up with the Wheeljack for the next turn, so we'll see how Nick plans for that. Arcee is going to go into the fire drive here. I know I'm a little behind, but Arcee went into the fire drive last turn without a weapon or upgrade, or action rather, because Rob did not want to KO the fire drive at this point in time to make the fire drive the duo cannon. So we're going to have a field communicator come off, and then Static Laser of Ironhide come off the top to equip to probably Ramhorn, because Ramhorn can attack with it and still live with a force field if he does have force field. And looks like Ramhorn is going to go into... Okay, looks like Ramhorn went into Arcee, I'm going to assume. Okay, that flash went so quick, I just totally missed that. And then Wheeljack clapped back and attacked the Ramhorn, and Nick actually did not have the force field. And as you can see, if the match looks kind of weird, it's because the video sped up a little bit, so to kind of help the match move along faster. Not that it's not going fast anyway. I mean, this is an orange versus orange matchup, right? So very clutch zap play coming in on the Arcee to kill the Arcee, thus not have to waste another attack on it. And this turn is even bigger because Nick gets 2 attacks on Rob's characters. Keep in mind, from the beginning of the match, Rob used his Top Shot's effect rather than attacking with it, which is why the field ends up looking like the way it does right now. And Nick's able to get 2 attacks on Rob's characters. The unprecedented grenade launcher reckless charge on the steel jaw with Bold 1 KO'd the Wheeljack, the Wheeljack in 1 hit, and then Blaster, of course, is going to take care of the Lionizer. Moving on to a very quick game 2. That was insane. Like, talk about quick games. These decks are the epitome of what you want from an orange aggressive deck this format. Of course, this tournament was absent of I think we had maybe 1 bug player, but overall, even just in EIQs in general, most EIQs I have seen bugs kind of fall off a little bit in favor of other strategies and with the battle masters and things like that. So, but we're gonna have game 2 start off here with. Did he go? Okay, yeah. Wow. Well, I want to say wow, but excuse me. Rob decided to have Nick go first, and Nick has the unfortunate luck of pulling an improvised shield off of the top of the deck, and it looks like he also forgot to attack with the fire drive. Now looking at what he would have drawn another improvised shield, so flipping one off the top for blaster and then also drawing one for fire drive, of course, is just very unlucky and unfortunate, but he did forget to draw the card. Now if your opponent doesn't remind you, because the draw is mandatory, it kind of just like a game state, it just kind of washes away. I don't think it's that big of a deal that it needs to be something that needs to be repaired anyway. And again, just per rules, if both players happen to forget, you kind of just go along without it. And, it is what it is. So we got Nick playing a treasure hunt for his turn, getting a static laser, Ironhide, and a field communicator. Of course, Rob leaving that fire drive, you know, with enough health to not be KO'd yet. Don't want it to become a weapon just yet. Field communicator being an extension of your deck, being able to play cards off the top that you would have normally flipped for battle. He flips a one shall stand, one shall fall, and gets 3 damage on Wheeljack, or excuse me, not on Wheeljack, on Arcee to make her easier to kill. Get a little bit of damage on Lionizer. Rob draws for his turn. He's going to flip Arcee here and heal 1 damage off of each character. Don't know how important that was here, especially because Rob's deck is all, you know, orange. So I'm going to slap down a zap to zap the Ram Horn. And what's really important about that Ram Horn being at 5 is that Force Field will no longer protect it. And if Nick were to play the Force Field, which wouldn't be ideal, of course, you know, Force Field again would not protect it and it would be KO'd. So we're going to have Blaster have another potentially, yeah, probably unlucky flip here and flip the other double orange battle icon, Peace to Tyranny. But now he has to play it. Keep in mind that card actually should be in play right now because Blaster forces you to play the card. But with Peace to Tyranny, you know, you may KO one of your 6-star characters or higher, so you don't have to. Gonna play a static laser of Ironhide on Steeljaw, going in on Top Shot, getting an easy KO there. Steeljaw, okay, I was gonna say definitely gotta remember to get that 2 damage on Steeljaw from the static laser. And another one-shot stand. Man, a lot of direct damage in this game. One-shot stands and zaps everywhere. You got the one-shot stand coming out on the fire drive, making the fire drive a weapon, but then an immediate mini combo playing the direct damage and then playing the enforcement batons to kill off the Battle Master before Nick even has a chance to use it. Now, I don't think most, if not any, Blaster decks play Quartermaster, so won't be seeing that duo cannon anymore for the rest of this game. Nick's pondering his moves, probably checking health, maybe checking defenses on certain cards. They got an Erratic Lightning and an attack, most likely on the Arcee, KO in the Arcee. So as you can see here, Rob made a solid choice by going second this game, and he's able to get, you know, an attack, a big sizable attack on Nick's character. Being that it doesn't have a force field, it definitely looks like it's going to be a KO. We got Bold 6 coming in, flipping a minimum of 8 cards. With a white, you're flipping 10 cards, and definitely going to KO that Blaster. At this point, I have talked about in the past, you know, if you know you can't win, just scoop up your cards, get to the next game to save for time. But in match, I really mean that for like blue matchups or like an orange versus blue matchup. But in orange versus orange matchups, you'll almost never go into time with 50 minutes. There's absolutely no way. And if you do, you know, your opponent's slow playing, so absolutely should never happen. So we got Steeljaw coming in pretty strong with Bold 4, Bold 1 from himself, and then Bold 3 from Supercharge, and then the +3 from Erratic Lightning KOing the Wheeljack. But Lionizer will probably get there on this next turn. Doesn't even need, or doesn't rather play an armor or upgrade or action. And the Bold 4 is going to be enough to KO the Steeljaw, moving us on to game 3. Now, keep in mind, the winner has to side deck their character first, and then both players side deck their battle cards, and the player that lost can also side deck their character at that time as well. But neither player decides to do any of that, and they're just going to get right into this next game. Going into game 3, keep in mind this is the top 8 of the Pro Play Tour Columbus, so the winner of this match will move on to the top 4 and go on from there. No cuts, little gentleman taps on each side, and we're going to start off game 3 by Nick starting off the game again, despite Rob letting him go first the first time. And he's going to press the advantages like he did off game 1 with the Blaster effect. He's going to remember to draw his card and attack into Wheeljack, getting a nice 5 damage on Wheeljack. So when Wheeljack's able to be attacked, should only take 1 attack to KO the Wheeljack. So that's a very nice start for Nick. Rob starts his turn off by 1 shall stand, 1 shall fall, using putting 3 damage on Top Shot and 3 damage on Ramhorn as well, trying to get it closer so that the force field that Ramhorn can deploy or, use, like the bolster-like effect, won't be as good. Now I put the 3 damage on his Top Shot and it still lives, which is nice. Knowing that the Top Shot was going to die, whether it was at 5 health or 2 health, was a very nice 1 shot stand for Rob to use like he did. Treasure Hunt, going to grab a couple of cards. Field Communicator, going to pop a Static Laser of Ironhide off the top and put it on the Fire Drive. Put it on the Fire Drive because if he puts it on the Ram Horn would take 2 damage from the Static Laser, putting it at 5. And with Ram Horn only having 9 health, Force Field, again, would not protect it. So he's telegraphing that he has a Force Field here. I like this bluff because he, you know, I want to say necessarily a bluff, but, you know, he's definitely going to make your opponent kind of second guess really loading up their character to go into Ram Horn. So if he does have the Force Field. And again, looks like Nick does not have the Force Field, so the Ram Horn's out of here. Won't get any value out of, you know, having it live and having to, you know, burn another attack into it. His opponent, anyway. Oh, there's a Force Field. Okay, so Blaster flips and deploys Steeljaw and deploys the, or excuse me, flips a Force Field off the top, which is very nice because it does not count for his upgrade for the turn, nor his action. And even if Rob does have a Bashing Shield, you know, Nick got really good value out of that because the card was free. And another one-shot stand. How many one-shot stands has that been in this game? 5 or 6? Jeez. One-shot stand, again, on the Steeljaw instead of the Fire Drive. That's interesting. Putting 3 damage on Arcee to make her easier to KO. Keep in mind, I'm talking a little faster because I'm trying to keep up the video because the video has been sped up. This is one of my rare videos. Cherish this moment. A video under 20 minutes. Got a Turbo Booster on Wheeljack. Okay, so he is playing some untapped cards. I don't think he is playing Start Your Engines, but he is going to at least play the Turbo Booster because it is an orange battle icon. So, and he's going to trigger Wheeljack's effect, draw a card, and scrap a card. Flip Arcee. Arcee's not as good in this matchup, so any mode that she's in, whatever damage she hits is probably going to be good enough. We got 5 coming into... Looks like Steeljaw. Okay, so looks like Steeljaw is going to take 4 and make that Force Field now useless. So one card that Nick definitely can't put on Steeljaw for the rest of the game is a Static Laser of Ironhide, because of course it will kill the Steeljaw. So we got a Confidence to start off the turn, draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. Because he started with all Autobots, he's able to play another action if he would like. Look like he's contemplating a improvised shield, which is one of the clear discards to make. I'm gonna assume maybe it was that and the Bashing Shield. Rob hasn't really been playing any Force Fields like this game, or you know, had any out or whatever for him to keep that Bashing Shield. Got another one-shot stand, one-shot fall coming out on Wheeljack to make it even easier to kill when it's time to attack it. And gets enough damage on the Arcee, and that was a big hit right there because. Something to note about Rob's deck. Rob's deck is really good with Peace to Tyranny turns versus the traditional Firewheels deck from Origins. Keep in mind, you know, Lionizer over Proton. There it is. I'll actually talk about that here in a second. Let's watch the rest of this match. So we got a very powerful Peace to Tyranny turn because all of Nick's characters are tapped, which means Wheeljack gets to attack and all characters stand, and Rob gets to attack again. Now, if Rob were to have a one-shot stand, one-shot fall right here, it'd be huge because he'd be able to KO Steeljaw KO Steeljaw or Fire Drive with the one-shot, and his Wheeljack will still live because his Wheeljack only has 7 damage counters on it. So putting 3 more damage counters on it would put it at 10, and then it would, you know, KO whoever and then attack the other character easy. With 6 Bolt 7 coming out, yeah, he's definitely KOing whatever in sight. So ramming speed on the Static Laser indicates that he's going to definitely go after the Steeljaw, and hopefully that the Fire Drive cannot deal enough damage to KO the Wheeljack. If Rob potentially had a Bashing Shield in his hand, he potentially could have played that because that extra 1 defense would have helped. Maybe not. Take that back. 6 Bolt 3 coming in on Wheeljack, and that looked just like that. Looks like I think that's gonna do it. Yep. There's the handshake. Wow. The quickest match I've ever done. I guess I should start playing orange, right? So my videos can all be this short. Flipping some cards here to see what would happen on defense. Shout out again to both players. What an excellent quick match. The epitome again of, you know, orange decks just going at it. And, you know, if you're playing an orange versus orange matchup, definitely don't worry about going into time. You know, you get 50 minutes and be done in half of that or less easy. So as you can see from game 1, Rob going first and using Top Shot's effect was not ideal. He may have not played against the matchup or play tested against the matchup to see, you know, foresee that happening, but game 2 and 3 he definitely learned his lesson, and unfortunately Rob didn't have the one-shot stand, one-shot fall to get rid of one of Nick's characters and then KO the other one via attack. Besides that, you know, what I wanted to point out real quick was, so like the Firewheels deck from Origins, that's what Rob's deck pretty much was made up of, but trade out, you know, Prowl, Wave 1 Prowl for Lionizer, and, you know, add a star. So now you have 4 stars left. Prowl has 6 stars, Lionizer has a 7, and then you're left with 4 stars, and he chose to play Private Top Shot. And it worked out pretty well for him. Got him to the top 8 of the event. And, yeah, again, shout out to both of those players. Congratulations to both of them. And with that, definitely look out for the last couple of videos from this tournament. Pro Play Tour Columbus. I think George has a Nationals event, I want to say for Dragon Ball Z this weekend. So shout out to him and good luck with that tournament. And, you know, do your thing. And that's going to do it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, you know, as always, I appreciate a like and subscribe to the video. If you do like my content, I throw out content at least 2 to 3 times a week regularly. I have a couple ideas for different videos I want to do outside of, you know, commentary videos and gameplay videos, just to kind of pick my brain, and I'm talking about some things out loud, about some things that are coming up. I want to do a couple of top 10 videos for, like, you know, a couple of my, like, you know, favorite bots, favorite cards, just in general, maybe like favorite top 10 cards from like this wave 4, and top favorite characters as well. So be looking out for some videos coming up from me soon as we near the end of wave 3 into the full-on Siege meta with wave 3 and wave 4. Got some sealed videos coming up and a whole bunch more. As usual, you guys have a great day and or great night whenever you're catching this video. This is S. FTF, and out. Peace.